Hello everyone, welcome to AI Anytime channel. In today's video, we are going to develop a chatbot powered by generative AI. Okay, so we are going to look at open source stacks like Langchain, which is a framework for generative AI. Then we'll move to sentence transformers to create the embeddings out of your documents, and then we will look at a vector store or a vector database, Chroma DB, and then we'll use a large language model, okay, to basically infer those embeddings to retrieve information or to basically generate some responses on your prompts or queries. That's what we are going to develop in this video, guys. But there are already few videos that I have created previously on search your PDF and chat with your data, but in those videos we were not having this input mechanism on the Streamlit interface. Okay, what we used to do in those videos, that we basically created a file called data ingestion.py, where we used to ingest the data in backend, okay, and we used to save the embeddings in a persist directory, for example db, and then we used LLM to inference it, right? But in this video we'll also have an input option on the Streamlit app where user can upload their PDF and they can chat with it. So everything will happen on the Streamlit UI. Okay, so you upload a file and the embeddings will be created, and then you can also have a chatbot interface within the app so you can chat with it. So there were some requests from few of my subscribers, all of you, okay, that can we create something like this, okay, that everything happens on the interface. Like there are applications available currently like chat with PDF, chat your PDF, ask PDF. There are a lot of applications currently available. If you go on GitHub, you search, you'll find a hell lot of applications like this. So how can we also build our application that also runs on a CPU machine, which is very easy to deploy? So definitely this will be a 2 video series, maybe, where in this video I will create the chatbot end to end, and in the next video I will deploy this either on AWS or on Azure, maybe through a Docker container or something like that. We will definitely do that, guys, in the next video. So let's get started in this video. So if you see, for this video there are prerequisite. Okay, I'll request you that you go through this video here, that you see search your PDF, where we have search your PDF app using Langchain, Chroma DB, and open source LLM. And you can also look at create private GPT for your data, run some CPU. So these 2 videos are the prerequisite for this video. It will be helpful if you go through these 2 videos where I have covered in too much of details, okay, in these 2 videos. You can see this is more than an hour video, search your PDF app. So you have to invest time to basically grasp the concept. Okay, so if you want to watch this video, please watch it, and then you can watch the video that I'm currently creating. Okay, so what we will do, we'll use the same folder. So if you come on desktop, okay, I have this local LLM search. Okay, I will use the same directory, and I will create a, let me first open in a terminal. I'm just going to open in a terminal, and I'm just going to do activate the deep learning environment. So deep learning, Conda activate deep learning, and this Conda activate deep learning is done. And now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to open this in VS Code. Once I open this in VS Code, you will see there are a few files. Okay, so there is ingest.py. We'll use this function, of course. We will not write a lot of code in this video because we already have this code snippet in this previous 2 videos. We'll write a few code snippet for Streamlit, of course. So what I'm going to do in this video, guys, that we have this DB folder. So if you see this DB folder, this is nothing but the persist directory. So if you come over here, you can see this persist directory has been defined. So whatever embeddings that we create, embeddings file through a duckdb plus parquet, okay, so the data type of the embeddings that we have, right? So it gets stored in this DB folder. It will basically have an index and couple of parquet files. Okay, so index will contain the metadata, the UUID, unique identifier, and the parquet will contain the embeddings stored into it. Okay, so this persist directory equals to DB. That's what basically we are going to store here. Currently you see there's nothing inside this DB because we are going to create these embeddings through a Streamlit interface, everything. Okay, now we'll use this file, and we'll also use this chatbot py, guys. Okay, this file that I've created previously, okay, where we're using Streamlit chat. So Streamlit chat is a Python library that helps you with the chatbot interface in Streamlit. Okay, so somebody from the community has created it. Kudos to them, credit goes to them for creating this library. And we are going to use Lamini T5 738 million model, okay, Lamini model, okay, which is a language model that not that large, but it really works well for multiple use cases. That's what we are going to look in this video, guys. Lamini T5 738. And just we're going to use Langchain and sentence transformers, etc. Right? So this is the file that we're going to use. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's create a file first. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a file in this directory that's called chatbot, something like chatbot streamlit.py, or let's call chatbot app.py. So this is the file that I've created. Now what I will do, I'll first import streamlit. So let's do that. Import streamlit as ht. That's what I'm gonna do here. Okay, and then I'm gonna write. Maybe I will not write ht.title. So what I'm gonna do here, that okay, we'll first focus on the interface, that how we can create this interface. So let's do that, guys. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna focus more on the markdown. Okay, so let's first create a diff function. So diff main. Okay, diff main, and let me just if name and this main. Now we'll start writing our code in this main function for the streamlit interface. Okay, so I'm going to use a markdown. So I'm just going to use ht.markdown, not markdown file, ht.markdown, and in this markdown, what I'm going to do, I'm going to define an h1. Okay, and in h1 we'll have style, and it's not a background, but anyway, let's hit enter. So I'll have a text align. So let me just write a text align. Text align center is okay. So we'll have our title in center, okay, for this chatbot. Okay, so text align center, and then we'll have color. For example, what should be the color of the text that we are going to write the title of this app? So color, for example, let's keep it blue. Okay, and this is okay, blue. And then we'll have something like, okay, let's do something like, this h1 is done. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write title. Okay, so basically that will be chat with your PDF. Okay, chat with your PDF or something like this. Okay, chat with your PDF. And now this, okay, chat with your PDF. Now this looks good. Okay, enter blue, and this color blue, not this should be this, and now it makes sense. So this is the first markdown. So let's do one thing. Let's first run this and see. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to come here and say streamlit run chatbot underscore app.py. So I'm just going to run this, and when I open this, it says, you can see it says h1 style. Okay, we have to pass this unsafe allow HTML true. Okay, so let me just do that. Okay, so unsafe allow HTML true. And once I do this, let me also do an Alt G, so we get the next line. You can see it, and now I just do a rerun. So when I do a rerun, you can see chat with your PDF. Let me just change the. You can also do it from config.2ml, but I'm just going to do it from here. Okay, let's keep it a light background. You can see this is our heading. Okay, chat with your PDF. What I also need, I need a couple of emojis. So parrot emojis. So I'm just going to do parrot emojis. I'm going to go inside this, and I will take the emojis from here, guys. Okay, the parrot emoji that we have to take. Anyway, let it load by then, and then we write the next line. Okay, so this is okay. I'm just going to copy this complete thing over here. So, and I'm just going to paste it over here. Markdown, text align center, and now here color. So let's keep this color as gray. The next line, and I'm going to write not chat with your PDF. Okay, I'll just write built by or something. Okay, so let me just do built by, built by, and built by, for example, we have an href, and in this href we can pass our GitHub repository, guys. Okay, so built by href, let's give it the GitHub repository. Let me come over here. We'll look at AI anytime GitHub repository. Here is our GitHub repository. Okay, so I'm going to come back here. I'm going to paste inside this. Okay, now this is what AI anytime GitHub repository. Now what I can do here, after AI anytime, I can just write inside this AI anytime, AI anytime with, I'll also use an emoji here. Okay, but anyway, let's first close this. Okay, so we have closed this, and let's not have this as h1 will be too big for this, so let's do an h3 for this, and this also becomes an h3, and unsafe allow. This looks nice. So let me just come back over here and do a rerun and see what we are getting. You can see built by AI anytime, and we'll use one more emoji. So let me just see heart emoji or something like this. Okay, and we'll take this emoji. I don't know why it's not loading. Okay, maybe we'll take it from this link or something. So parrot has been loaded. So let me just do, we are using this for Langchain, guys, because if there is no Langchain, it will be very difficult to create this kind of application, because Langchain does all the heavy lifting for generative AI application. Okay, so let me just do a rerun, and you can see we have a new emoji out there. Okay, it looks good. Okay, now what I'm going to also do is something like document emoji or something. Okay, so document emoji, and I'll take this page facing up emoji. Meanwhile, we have this, I don't know if I can how can I copy this. Okay, let me see if it has been copied anytime with, okay, this has been copied. Now if you come over here, you'll see, okay, with love, AI anytime with love. Now this looks good. Okay, so now we have this title and subheader of it. Okay, now you can also take this page facing up emoji. What happened? Where is the page facing up emoji? Let me go back. Here it is. Copy. So I'm just copied it. I'll just paste it over here. Save. So once we save that, if you come back on the Streamlit app, now you'll see that we are done with this, guys. Now let's do one more thing. We'll also add one more markdown here, and what I'm going to do here in this case, ht.markdown. Inside this markdown, what we can have is and let me just copy this entire thingy over here, and Control C, Control V. Let's keep this an H2 style. Okay, and H2 style, and this looks nice. Okay, let's remove this out. Should we keep a subheader or should we keep a markdown? Let's write a subheader and see. Okay, if I just write upload your PDF, okay, below or something like this. Okay, and if I come back and rerun, okay, so let's keep markdown, which is better. So markdown and S3, this looks nice, but we will not have this entire href wala thing here. Okay, we don't need this. Okay, so powered is not required. Just write upload your PDF below or something. Okay, upload your PDF below. Okay, so this is what we're gonna write here. Let's give this a color as red, and let's make this H3 looks nice, or let's make this H2 and see how big that header is. And I'm just gonna come back here and rerun, and now you can see this looks nice. Okay, we'll have one more emoji. Okay, and we need the thumbs down emoji, not up. So thumbs down emoji, and I'll just take this emoji. So let me close all this thing here. Okay. Not thumbs down, sorry. Okay, the finger down emoji or something like this. The white down pointing. Okay, backhand index pointing. Okay, they call backhand. So let's copy this, and I'm just gonna come back over here and paste it over here. So let's paste this, and now this looks okay. Let me just see, this looks nice. Okay, now let's come back here on rerun. Now we are done with our headings and subheadings, guys, right? So this is the title of this chatbot. Okay, now what we will do, we'll divide this in maybe two columns, this layout that you see. So let's divide that in two columns, guys. So what I'm gonna do here is this now. Okay, so let's write the code for Streamlit. So I'm just gonna have an uploaded file, excuse me, uploaded underscore file, and in this ht.file uploader, this looks nice. ht.file, if uploaded file is none, not none is also right. Okay, if uploaded file is not none, okay, we can now let's chat build, we don't need it. Okay, so if uploaded file is not none, okay, we'll use some file details. Okay, but let's first do a pass here. Okay, and see. So if you come back over here on chat, you will see that this is an uploaded file here. Okay, if uploaded file is not none. Okay, now here you upload your PDF file, okay, that PDF file that we have to basically create the chatbot for. So let's now come back and we'll start writing our code here. So if uploaded file is not none, this is okay. Now let's write some file details, guys. So what I'm going to do here is file details. I'll create a dictionary and that I can print through a JSON, in a JSON format on the Streamlit. What are the file name, how big the file is, all those details. So file details, what I'm going to do here. So in file details, inside this, I'm just going to write, so name, type, and size. This looks nice. So size, uploaded file dot size. I don't know if you can uploaded file dot size will work, but let's see. If this doesn't work, we'll write a function for it. So let's come back here and let's do a rerun. Probably, okay, let's do a browse file. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go inside this docs and I will use this file. Fast facts, what is climate change? Okay, this is the file that I'm going to use, but we are not currently printing it. So this is just a dictionary. So let's do one thing. So we have file details. Now what we will do, we'll save this file. We have to save this file, okay, that so we can take it, for embeddings and all other things, right? So let's write the code for that. So what I'm going to do here is file path, and in file path, the first thing that we have to do, you can see this docs folder, right? In docs folder, we'll save this file. So let's define that docs. So in docs and inside this docs, I'm just going to write uploaded file dot name. This is okay, and now we'll use open. So with open, this is okay. File path as temp file. So let's define another temporary file. So temp file, and inside this we'll just do a temp file dot write dot get buffer, or we can also do dot read. Okay, so let's do dot read, uploaded file dot read here. Okay, and this makes sense. So temp file dot write and uploaded file dot read. Now what we are doing here, we are saving this. Okay, so now we'll save the file in this doc directory. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to divide that layout in two columns as we said. So column 1, column 2, and now st.columns. And even in these columns, you can basically give more weightage. So I want to divide this in 1:2 ratio. Okay, so I'll just give 1:2 ratio. So the first column will have, for example, 1. So the second column will be twice of it. Okay, in the width and that, right? The width distribution. So this is what I'm dividing. This looks nice. PDF details. Let's see if this works, guys. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to come and run. And meanwhile, also write the code for with column 2. So I'm just going to do with column 2. And with column 2, what I'm going to write, PDF preview. No, PDF preview will not come here. Okay, so let me just do a pass by now. We can do a PDF preview in the same column. Let's see if we run this first and if we get any error. You can see the PDF details. This is the PDF details that we are getting. Okay, here. Okay, you can see it over here. Okay, fast fact, what is climate change and all those things. So this is basically at least working. Okay. Or can we also do one thing? Can we put this layout as wide? So we utilize this wide layout. Okay, so let's see that. Okay, if we can use that wide layout. So now what I will do, I'll come over here on this Streamlit app and I'll just put st.setPageConfig. You can see this page config, right? Let's try it out and see how it looks. Okay, when we put the layout as wide. So layout, I'm just gonna do layout equals wide. And if I make that change, now you can see, right, this now it looks better. So what we will do, you have this PDF details, okay, and this is PDF details. Let me make this gray, for example. Not red is not looking good here. Okay, so let's put this gray. So gray, why I'm doing gray, because gray will also look nice when you put it in a dark theme. Okay, now you can see this is the PDF details. Okay, like this is what name, fast fact, what is you have uploaded. Okay, your data that we have uploaded, the app with the type, which is PDF, and the size of it. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Okay, this is what I wanted to do in this first column. Now in the same column, what I also want to do is, now I want to basically show the file preview. Okay, so for that we will utilize one of our function. Let me go to my GitHub repository where I have previously used a function to basically preview a PDF file in an Streamlit application. So let me do that. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to come over here in the chat with some other, it's in my multiple, basically Python file that I have created Streamlit application. I have used it. So let me just take that from where can I display PDF. Here we go. Okay, so this display PDF. So I'm going to just paste it over after this. I'm just pasting it, and for that what we are doing is, you can see we are using a PDF display. We have a function called display PDF that takes file as an input parameter. Okay, and then we are first using base 64. Okay, to basically, and then we are decoding to in an UTF-8 format, and we are embedding that PDF in an HTML. Okay, through an iframe. So we have an iframe that will help us embed this PDF in an HTML file, because see, Streamlit also again Streamlit supports Markdown. Okay, so whatever you can write in a Markdown format, it should support. Okay, so this function basically what it does, it uses iframe to embed the PDF in that HTML, and then we're using Markdown to show that PDF on a Streamlit UI. So we'll use that PDF. So let me first do an import here. Okay, so let me just copy all the imports, because all these imports will be required, okay, for this video as well. So I'll just copy this, I come back over here, and I'll just paste. This is what I have pasted. Now let's use this here in the column 1. After file preview, after PDF details, what we can do, we can do a file preview. Okay, we can preview this file there, guys. Okay, so let's write that. Okay, so I'm gonna do here is ht.markdown, or let me just copy it. Okay, we already have here. Okay, so I just want to copy this entire thing. So let me just copy Markdown, text center, PDF details, and what I'm going to write here is PDF preview. So you can preview your PDF. Okay, and here we're going to write here is we're going to just use this PDF view. So let's use PDF view, and this PDF view will have a display PDF, and then file path. Okay, or basically the file path. Okay, the file path that we have over here, or we can't also, let's not also use PDF view and see if we can just use display PDF. Okay, what we are getting. Okay, if this function works, so we should put it in a variable. So if I come back over here on chatbot, chat with your PDF, let's see. Here we go, we have our PDF preview, guys. So the PDF that we upload, okay, we should know that which PDF we have uploaded, because see, with this application, with this chatbot, what we are doing, we are giving the control to the user on the data ingestion part. At least they can upload the PDF that they want, so they should also preview it. Okay, currently it supports one PDF, but maybe if you are watching this video, you want to extend this project, this code will be available on GitHub repositories. You go ahead and take this code and try with your PDFs, your algorithms, your mechanisms. Okay, if you can come up with your techniques that helps you parse multiple PDFs and create the embeddings, please let me know. Please drop that progress or findings in this comment box. Okay, so this is the PDF preview. So our column 1 is done, guys. Okay, we are done with the column 1. Now what we will do, we'll move to column 2 now. Okay, so let's move to column 2, and column 2 will start writing with the embeddings and all. So first we'll create the embeddings, we'll have a loader. Once the embeddings are created, we'll have a chat interface. So with column 2, what I'm going to do here is, let's have a spinner first. So with ht.spinner, and in this with ht.spinner, what I'm going to do here, I'll just write embeddings are in something like embeddings are in process or something. Okay, embeddings are in process, not that big. Okay, embeddings are in process. Okay, with ht.spinner, embeddings are in process. Okay, now we'll have our variable called ingested data. So this ingested data, will write a function. Okay, we'll write a function called data underscore ingestion, the same code that we will take, data underscore ingestion, and then we'll just basically do a ht.success that your ingestion are completed or something. So I'll just write embeddings are created successfully, something like this, and then I'll just do a markdown. Okay, like you chat here or something. So let me just remove embedding preview and now use chat here, and then we'll write the rest of the code after we first focus on embedding here. So now let's create this function called data ingestion. Okay, so this function that we're going to create, data ingestion. So let's write the function for that, guys. So what I'm going to do here, I'm not going to write anything new. Okay, I'll just take this function or this entire thingy over here. Okay, I'll just come back on this chatbot app, and after this I'm just going to paste it over here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to remove this main, and I'm going to call this data ingestion. So data underscore ingestion. Now this becomes our function and nothing will be changed here, okay, in this. But first we have to define this checkpoint. So let me go back to one of this code, chatbot py, the previous video. We have to look at this checkpoint and all. So let me just copy this. Let me just set the checkpoint thingy here. So this is our model checkpoint and tokenizer, right? This is how we load the model. Okay, we are loading in float32 data type. Device map automatically offload the weights on CPUs and if you have GPU as well. Okay, so persist directory DB data ingestion. This function is okay. We don't have to do anything in this function now. This will help us create the embeddings now. Embeddings are in process. Ingested data ingestion. Currently, if you see, there is nothing inside this DB. Inside DB there is nothing. Now let's run this and see if we are able to do it, guys. Okay, so let's come back on. Okay, this is for data ingestion. Now we have to write the function for embeddings. Okay, that embedding function. So let's do that. So what I'm gonna do here, okay, I'm just gonna use other functions here. So let me just take it from GitHub repository so you can also have a look at it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, okay, let's first do a cache resource, because I don't want to create the embeddings every time when we are in that runtime. Okay, so let's cache the resource. It's a decorator available in Streamlit that we can use. So st.cache resource, they also have cache data. So when you're working with CSVs and numpys and all, you can also use cache data. Okay, so now this is okay. Now I'll just come over here and just copy this entire thing, okay, because this is what we need, and I'll explain the code step by step. Okay, and we can take display conversation. Let's take the entire thing and I will remove a couple of functions which are not required. Let me just paste it over here. We don't need this display PDF because we already have taken that function, so let me just remove that. And this function is also not required. This is not required in this video, and I will now explain the function one by one, guys. Okay, now what we are doing in this function, LLM pipeline, we have a function called LLM pipeline that create a pipeline. It is a transformers pipeline. You can see this pipeline class of transformers. We are using a task. That which task we are looking at? So we are looking at text to text generation. We are defining model, tokenizer, maximum length. What should be the maximum length of the new token? Okay, the generation that we are going to do to generate the response. So we are saying, okay, keep the max length at 256. You can increase it also. Okay, there's no problem. Then we are setting the temperature for creativity and randomness at 0.3, and then we have top P, and then we are using the Hugging Face pipeline to pass that pipeline. Okay, and that's returning that local LLM. That's what we are doing in this case. And with this function QALLM, now once we have the embeddings, now what we're going to do here in this case is that basically we have an LLM pipeline, okay, that we are using it, and then we have an embeddings from sentence transformers, and then we are loading it through Chroma, okay, from persist directory, giving the embedding function from sentence transformer, and then we are using a retrieval chain, retrieval QA from Langchain, and we are creating a chain with the language model and embeddings and retriever. That's what we are doing here, okay, in this. And this is just basically to format the output. You can see process answer, and this is very interesting. Now this display conversation, if you have seen my previous videos, I have explained those things in very detail. Okay, like display conversation is for Streamlit chat library. We have to look at the previous response and basically infer from that, right? You can ask follow-up questions, so it should answer it. Okay, that's what we are doing, okay, with this. Now let's see. Now this is okay. With column 2 is okay. So with column 2 here, now once we have the embeddings created, we have to basically give the chat interface. So I'll also take the chat interface from that code itself, the previous code. Okay, so let's take this from here, user input. So let me just come back, paste it over here, user input. So what we are doing, you can see it's very much self-explanatory. It's also available on Streamlit discussion. It's not my code, as I said, right? It's a library has been created by someone in community. Okay, so we're just taking the code. It's just a wrapper. Okay, so Streamlit chat. So you can see initialize session state for generated responses and passed messages. It's initialize a session state, the session that you are in when you are interacting with the bot. Okay, and then it search for the database for a response based on user input, and then keep on updating the session state, the chat history. That's what it does. Now this is okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's go back to our Streamlit interface, because I think we are okay with our code. So let me just see, we are okay with it. So let me just come back here on Streamlit chatbot. Let's do a rerun. Now you can see it says embeddings are created successfully. Okay, you just saw, right? Because if we have one file, a very small file, if you have a bigger file, it will take more time to create the embeddings. And now you can see we have a load, we have a spinner, the loader, and embeddings are created successfully. So we have successfully created an embedding using an open source vector database or vector store that runs native Chroma DB, right? You can see embeddings are created successfully. Let's see that. So if you come here in the DB, now you can see the files, the embedding that has been created, the parquet, the index, the metadata, the UUID, you can see everything over here. So it means that we have successfully created the embeddings, and we also have a chat interface. And you can see it over here. How beautiful this looks, right? So you see this in column 1, we have a PDF details and PDF preview. We have a file uploader option. Now user can upload the file and they can just create a chatbot, interact with it. Okay. And we're also going to deploy this, guys. Okay, I will deploy this through a public Docker repository. Okay, so I'll push this in Docker Hub. Okay, official Docker Hub repositories. You can also use that if you want. Just download that Docker image from there, and you can also deploy it in your infrastructure. But I'm also going to deploy this, and I will also give the link for the public users. You can use that in the next video. Okay. Now, if you see your interface, it's a chat here. Now you can chat with it. So let me ask, what is climate change? Now you can see we got our response, guys. Okay, climate change is a natural process where temperature, rainfall, wind, and other elements vary over decades or more. Okay, so we got our response. This is a chatbot. You can see here our response, and these two are required to have the session and previous responses that we have inside the list, right? Now, if you see this, what is climate change? So climate change is a natural process, right? So we got our response. Okay, we have a max token as 256. If you increase that, you will get a lengthier response. Okay, so this is what we are doing. You can also ask follow-up question, but if you have a very limited infrastructure, a compute power, it might crash. Okay, so you have to rerun the program again and interact with it. So it depends how much of compute power you have. Okay, what kind of machine you have. Let's see this interface. In when we are changing the settings, make this a dark theme or something. So now if you see, I make a dark theme, even looks more beautiful, right, in dark theme. Okay, so you can see that. Let me just go back to in the light theme here. Okay, so let me just go to light theme, and let's ask a follow-up question. If I get an error, I'll probably not rerun, but you can play with it, right? So let me ask a question. How does it affects the people? So see, I'm not mentioning anything like climate change into this prompt or this query. It will automatically look at your previous responses and see, right? So let me just do that. How does it affect the people? When I run this, it will probably either crash or either it will give you the response. Okay, let's see. It will basically give you a meta offload error. Okay, so let's see. Now it didn't crash because I have a decent machine. Okay, but for you it might crash. Okay, this is climate change affects people in very. So automatically looking at the semantics, it can capture the semantics behind it, and that's the beauty of Lamini model, guys. To be honest, Lamini does not hallucinate. Okay, I have used it. It does not hallucinate at all. Okay, so when I say at all, it might be little, I'm trying to brag it on Lamini, but you can control the hallucination with Lamini language model because it's a small model, and the smaller model generalizes very well, okay, on your data or the document that you have. Okay, that's how it works currently, right? So you see the response that I got. Climate change affects people in various ways, and this is the chatbot that we have created, guys. Now you can take this project, you can take this at your workplace as your hobby project or your pet project, or you can take it in your college final year project. Whatever you want to do with this, you can do with it. Okay, you can extend this, and I'll be more than happy if if you're extending this further. Okay, so this is what I wanted to create. Some of you guys requested that, okay, have an input upload option where the end user will upload the document, you create the embeddings, and then you basically chat here. So that's what we are doing here, guys. I hope you liked it. The code will be available on the GitHub repository. Okay, and you can also watch my previous videos related to it. Okay, you can see it over here, the previous videos. I have a lot of videos on large language models. So you go on playlist, you will see on large language model I have more than around more than 25 videos, guys, on large language models. Okay, and now we'll deploy this in the next video, guys. We'll definitely deploy it through a Docker container or something like that. We'll see that are we looking at the container, or can we deploy it in through other mechanism as well. So I will do that in the next video. So I hope you like the video. Okay, and if you have any thoughts or feedbacks, please let me know. Please drop your feedback and thoughts in the comment box, and you can also reach out to me through our social media channels. If you want to join our community, please join the WhatsApp group through the YouTube social media, the YouTube banner that we have. You will find the YouTube link there. Okay, and if you haven't subscribed the channel yet, do subscribe the channel, guys, and please share this video and channel to your friends and peers. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.